Spreading the news, I'm leaving today. I want to...
Hi, I'm Steve Troy, the founder and CEO of Aerofund Financial. Thank you for joining me for the Aerofund Look Back on Business History. Before Warren Buffett, the greatest investor in the United States was probably John Jacob Astor. Astor was born in the town of Waldorf, Germany, and traveled to the United States, landing in New York City just after the end of the American Revolution. John was one of three brothers, Henry and George being the oldest. Henry had left for New York City just before John, establishing himself as a butcher, while George settled in London, opening a musical instrument store. While working at Henry's butcher shop, John represented George's interest in the music business. And on the side, he would trade furs with the Native Americans. It wasn't long before he gave up the butcher shop and his music business to devote himself full-time to expanding his fur trade. Hiring trappers, agents, and scouts, he set about establishing trading posts around the country. Astor's aggressive expansion throughout the frontier created trading forts from New York to Oregon and south to Florida. Many cities around the country still bear the names of these early trading posts. At first, furs were shipped primarily to Europe, but it wasn't long before Astor had his eye on the big prize, Asia. Demand for furs was so great in China that he couldn't find enough ships, so Astor built boats and went into the shipping business. As he dominated the fur trade, he was dominating the shipping and the import-export business. Astor's ships would leave with furs and return overflowing with gold, silver, spice, porcelain, tea, and sandalwood. Always the master of timing, Astor decided to sell his fur and shipping business at its peak. Astor was acutely aware that manufacturing of cheap, fine, quality wool would eventually erode the demand for fur. And he was right. As America's first millionaire, he started buying up large tracts of Manhattan real estate. One such tract was Vice President Aaron Burr's farm that made up a good portion of Greenwich Village. Astor really built on the land and never sold it. Instead, he preferred to issue 21-year leases and let others build and maintain it. At his death, at 74, Astor had amassed a fortune of $20 million, 10 times more than the next richest American at the time, which in today's dollars would be $110 billion, propelling Astor to the top of the Forbes 400. It was reported that his dying words were that he regretted not being able to buy all of Manhattan. If you know someone who could benefit from Aerofund Financial's accounts receivable services, take a minute and give us a call.
It's up to you.